All right. Hello, everyone. Just wanted to talk a little bit about the VS Code that we are using for the Beatles class, and we're not using for Days class. And I think that VS Code is extremely uh, useful uh, text editor, and there are a lot of features that we can use. And I think we should use VS Code because uh, a lot of developers are using it, and also when we go to the internship, we might use it. And just in general, I think it's a nice editor. Um, so um, I'm looking right now at my project for Bill's class, and probably just wanted to give like a quick overview on um, the VS Code. So it is kind of like modular editor, and on the left uh, sidebar it has like icons, and clicking on each icon you can open like another tab. Okay, for now let's save this and just close it. So the first icon or tab is Explorer, and when Explorer is opened, uh, so when you click on the tab, it it opens or it closes. So the first one, Explorer, it has open editors, it has current folder, it has outline, timeline, and npm scripts. But the most important are the open editors and the current folder, which is a web project, web page project in my case. And let's try to look at it. So once we click on the file, let's try open index.html. We will see it here, and then we also can notice that it's been opened in open editors. Another thing is that when the file is open, you can see that the title is kind of like what's it called? What's the word? Cursive, I think. If it's cursive, it means that if we open another file, it will replace it. So let's try to open the CSS file, and you can see it replaced the index.html. So to keep it on the screen, we have to double click on it. We just double clicked on the title, and now we have style CSS open on a new tab. All right, what else we can talk about in this case? So also very useful is to know how to split the screen. So you can put the files on different sides of the VS Code editor. You can do it just by dragging and dropping, just dragging the title. So I just clicked on it and I'm dragging it. And you can see, depending on which area I'm going to, it kind of highlights it. So let's try to release it here. And once I released it, you can see that my script split it in like two sections into areas, and I can work within those sections. And I think it's just makes work easier when you can see two files at the same time. Not even that, you can split even the same file twice. And for example, here I can see the top of my file, and here of index.html, and here I can see the bottom of index.html. Pretty useful, pretty cool. Like sometimes you need to understand what's going on the top. Sometimes you need to and in the bottom at the same time. Not only that, let's try to open a new one. Not only that, you can even split the screen down and even split it again to the right, or do it the other way, to the right and down. And I don't know if it has any limitations. I haven't never checked, but yeah, I think also very useful. So like here can be your HTML, in this one can be your CSS, and here can be your JavaScript. All right, so what else? Forgot. Okay, I think that's it for now. So the next tab is search. You can search for the words, and you can also replace those words with anything. And you have like options to research. For example, I can put body, and it will still show it here. So it still can find it, but if I choose match case, it will not find it. I can also put match whole word, use regular expressions, which is uh, another way of searching, but it's kind of more complicated, and I'm not that good at it. Has a bunch of other options, preserve case, not sure what it is. And you can also replace. So for example, you search for body, and then you can replace it with something. I'm sorry. So you can see if I click it, let's try. We can replace either one, like one by one, or we can replace them all at once. So let's try to replace it, and you can see just got replaced. So yeah. Okay. Then another tab is source control. So you can do all the git add, git commit, and git push from here. Using you can use discard the changes. So for example, if I do it, it will get back to the point where I last pushed it. I think it's also pretty useful feature. So yeah, you can also commit, refresh, and a bunch of other stuff you can see here. A lot. All right, so this one is a debugger, and I'm also really bad at using it, but it is very, very, very useful feature. And if you ever learn how to use it, your life will be much easier. This is Remote Explorer. It's a external feature that allows you to connect to other machines, and you can basically, using this feature, you can connect to somebody else computer, and VS Code on their computer, and you can work simultaneously on the same computer, on the same VS Code. And this is the extensions, probably one of the best features of VS Code, I think. So it is, so it allows VS Code to install and uninstall like custom extensions that kind of change the way it works. So for example, I have a bunch of extensions installed, and I will just go through them and kind of show you what they do. So um, let's try to um, open a new, let's first save it. Index, like test HTML. Okay. Um, so usually I will just type HTML and choose HTML column 5. And this is another very useful feature. So this is called Emmet, and it is built in VS Code. Emmet is um, it is the feature that allows you to quickly write HTML code. So for example, it is like a bunch of snippets, shortcuts, combinations that allows you to quickly create HTML and CSS code. So like, for example, I click enter here, and you can see it just created HTML file structure for me. Also, like I can say p equals 5. I'm sorry, p dot 5 and dot. Uh, you can remember it refers to the class when we call something by class, and let's hit enter, and you can see that it created a p tag with the class 5. We can also do p asterisk 5, and we'll hit enter, and then it will create 5 p tags, and we don't even have to use the mouse. I think we just, like, for example, let's type something here, 1 2 3, and then we hit tab, and it switches to the next one. Just by hitting tab, we can quickly write all the values in all the p tags. Very useful. And I don't know all of the Emmet abbreviations. I just know a couple, and I don't even use it that much, but I do use this one. And just because I don't have to memorize the whole HTML document structure, I just type HTML column 5, and it will create the whole file structure for me. And again, as you can see, it kind of highlighted uh, some words. So for example, I can choose, in this case, I will not change anything because I usually don't change. But if I wanted, I could type something here, for example, like test, then I hit tab, and again, I can skip it and I can hit tab again, and I will go to the next one. So I don't have to use my mouse that much. I can just use the keyboard. And um, what I was gonna do, I was gonna show you how the extensions work. So the first extension I have is called auto close tag, and it is basically self-explanatory. You start typing the tag, like let's say p tag. You open the caret, you type the name of the tag p, and then you hit the closing caret, like the more sign. And the moment I put the closing sign for the tag, it created um, the ending, the closing part of that tag. Also very useful, and kind of helps you not to make mistakes. Um, Sometimes when writing HTML code, and it works with all of the elements, like let's say A. So you see it creates, even it doesn't have to be existing tag. I can type something like test, and it will still save it for me. I can type 1 2 3, it will still save it, like autocomplete for me. Um, so the next one is auto rename tag. Sometimes you made a mistake in the tag, and then you can just double click it or just go inside the tag. Let's say I had like a span tag, but I spelled it wrong. And you can see I can just go inside uh, the tag name, and I can just change the way it's written. So also very useful. And the point is it changes it on both ends, so you don't have to like go and fix it on the first part and then go to the second part. And sometimes um, like the opening tag will be on line 12, and the closing part of the tag will be like will be like at the end of the file, and you don't see it, and you have to go and find it, and it just takes a lot of time. Okay, so the next one is called Beautify. Um, so when you open the extension, when you click on it, it kind of opens the page and kind of like tells you what it does and how it works, and just you know gives you some documentation how you can use it, also how you can customize it as you want. And the way I use Beautify, uh, let's say I put a bunch of spaces, and I will explain you what those red color means later, and maybe a bunch of like enters, and maybe I will make sure that some of them are on the same line, and maybe something like that. So right now it's still understandable, but it's kind of hard to read all this HTML. And what I will do, I will just do the right click um, on this document, on this file, and then I can choose either format document, or if I select some part, I can do the option format selection, and let's format the whole document. And it just made it better, but for some reason I thought it will remove the spaces. Okay, let's try format document with. So you see, I have a couple formatters installed, and Beautify is one of them, but we also have Prettier. Let's try Prettier. Okay, did something interesting, and yeah, I guess it fixed it. So yeah, I mean, I just have a couple of formatters, and I just try them all and see which one does the job and which one helps, and usually doesn't take much time. Okay, so and yeah, you can do it. You can just mm, yeah, I think you just select, you just double click. I mean, I'm sorry, you do the right click, and then you do format document with, and then you just choose the formatter. So I think the HTML language features is the like built-in one, and you have to install Beautify and Prettier. The difference between Beautify and Prettier, I think, is the languages that they support. I'm not sure which one supports more languages. I just have them both installed. And I think the first time you try to use it, it will ask you which one do you want to use as a default one, and I use the Beautify. Okay, let's go further. So the next one is bracket pair colorizer, and there is first version and then there's second version. And the reason is the developer or the publisher, he had the first version for a really long time, and then he rewrote the whole feature, the whole extension from scratch, and he changed so much code that it was not possible for him to update it, upgrade it. So he just So right now in the repository there are two extensions, and it says that the version 2 it's greatly increased speed and accuracy, blah blah blah. But I didn't notice that much difference. Anyway, and also you can disable, like sometimes uh, not this extension. This I think this extension doesn't do that much, but some of the extensions you will want to disable for, like, you don't really want to uninstall them. You just want to temporarily disable them. So you can do either one. Okay, so what does the bracket per colorizer do? Uh, it will, like sometimes you have like a JavaScript file and you have a bunch of those, brackets, curly braces, and all that. And it's really confusing because you have, like, for example, three of them opening. And, like, remember, like in a math class, all of those brackets, you have to kind of like know what's going on. And this extension just really helps you to kind of like to understand your code, not to get confused. And yeah, just install it and it already works. So for example, here the first one it will highlight with red, the second one it will highlight with blue, and the third one it will highlight um, with the yellow. All right, going further, color highlight, what it does, it will, like, when you write the color, for example, like, the text color or background color, you can specify color with the hashtag and then 6 characters. You can also do RGB, or you can very often you will just write the name of the color, white, black, yellow, green, whatever. um, and let's try it actually. So P. And another thing that VS Code does really great is it's just very helpful when you're writing code, because it will always give you like suggestions, what to write. Like, for example, I was trying to do color for this p tag, but then it just doesn't allow me to do it. It just doesn't want me to do that. And then I remember, oh, that's because we don't have a color attribute. We only have the style attribute. So you see, I just started typing style, and it already gives me the option style. Even if I typed SYE, it still would recognize it. So even if I made a mistake, it would still recognize that I'm trying to do the style and give me the suggestion. And VS Code is also awesome because it will always give you, uh, it will always try to give you more information so you can read about it. Um, Mostly it will try to send you to MDN, Mozilla documentation. So like in this case, it will kind of show you like a small hint about the styling, about what does the style attribute do, and then it has a link to MDN. All right, so, and then you see again, I didn't even put the equal and then on double quotes. I just clicked enter, or like clicked on the touch bar, and it already typed the equal sign and the double quotes for me. Not only that, it even gives me the options that I can do, like display, height, padding, position, and it gives me, I think it gives me all the options that I can do, like all of them. But I was trying to do the color, So okay, let's do color. And again, it will give me all the options with color. Okay, let's do color. And then not only that, it will also give you the color options. Again, all of them, all of the color options with words, all of those weird names that I didn't even know those colors exist. Um, those like Alice blue, antique white. Um, I didn't know that Azure was a color. I thought it was just Microsoft technology, but turns out it's a color. And all of those, even like some transparent, unset, so everything. And let's try to type like hashtag AAA, and it will actually show you what it is. Like it will, like, sometimes you're reading the code and you don't really have time, or you don't really want to waste your time trying to remember what does the hashtag AAA mean. You just want to know what kind of color it is just when you're looking at your code. And this extension would, that's exactly what it does. It will just highlight it. And also VS Code even has this built-in feature where you can it's kind of like color picker, where you can just change the color like that, very easy. And then here it will show your current color, and here it will show your previous color. And you can keep clicking, and then you will see different representations of the color. And here you can see, you can choose the transparency. Like sometimes you want to see you want like to put your color like 50% transparent, and then you will see uh, like text through that color if you put it as a background, or different cases. Even it will show you if it's transparent, it will, like, you see, it will show you that. And here you can choose just like different colors. Okay, so um, got that done. Think another thing VS Code does, just try to hover on something. It will always try to give you a hint, a suggestion, like p tag, what it is, style, what it is. Always give you the link where to go to read about it. Um, maybe couple links even. I don't know, like hint inside the hint. Wow. Even if you go, I think you have to like click somewhere. Forgot where. Um, Sometimes it will like show you even the syntax uh, of how to do it. Huh. Maybe if I type A. No, it didn't. But sometimes it will even show you the syntax, like how you're supposed to write, write your code. Okay, so the next one, .env, I use it for like some projects, some other projects. So um, .env is the variable, is the file where you store the variables. Um, I don't really use it that much. HTML snippets also don't really use it, but uh, sometimes it's helpful. Sometimes just have to kind of learn how it works. So you see, like, you will type. One second. You will just type title. Even just start typing title. Click enter, and it will auto-complete it for you. Though it says it's an Emmet abbreviation, so I'm not sure if it's if this extension does anything. Okay, so the next one, import cost, also kind of useful when working on the projects where it's important to know like um, how like what's the weight of the file that you're trying to bring in. Either it's like a picture or the package or something like that. So uh, useful, you know, when working on big projects. Uh, this one is called indent rainbow, and like as you can see on this picture, um, it will kind of highlight how many indentations you have, and very useful in Python language, where you know the number of indentation like of the spaces is very important. So I think it's extremely important for for Python, but even working on the JavaScript, it kind of helps you. It kind of like um, visually, you know, just makes it easier to read text. So the next one is indenticator. What it does, it will also kind of visually highlight the either you know the part of the code you're in, either like the for loop or if statement or the function, or I think it works also with the like you know HTML tags, like you know this one. For some reason, right now you can see it highlights the parent tag, but I think it you know still useful. Okay, so the next one is called live server, and what it will do, it will when we click this button go live, it will basically start the website. It will start uh, a local server, um, basically like a local version of our website. It's basically like the run feature in a Replit. The only difference is that, as you can see, this person he is not clicking uh, the run button. The moment he saves the file, the live server will update it for him. So you don't need to, you know, like refresh, restart anything. You just write your code, save your file, go to the browser, and you see your changes right there. And go live. You have to install it first. I think you have to. Uh, uh, so you have to install the extension, then you have to restart the VS Code, and then you will see the button right here. So the next one is called Path IntelliSense, also very useful. Let's say we're working on a link, and then we start typing. I don't think I can make it closer, but hopefully you can see it. So we will start writing the href attribute, and then we do dot slash, and once we hit slash, it will show us what folders it has in there. And once we go to CSS, it will show what folders or files we have in CSS. So let's try to do it. Actually, we already have it here, so we can do it here. So I click dot, nothing happens. And I push slash, we can see all our files and folders. Then I click, then I go inside assets, it shows all the folders inside that. Then I click, well, we need links, so yeah, let's click image, and it will show us all the images we have. So we just click enter and already put the name. So very, very easy to work with names. Very useful. The next one is prettier. Um, so also very useful. Here it shows the names of the languages it works with: JavaScript, TypeScript, CSS, HTML. Next one is remote um, SSH. So that's the feature that I was talking about. Allows you to connect to the external like VS Code on another computer, and you can work on another computer with that. And then SVG, you can look, uh, you can see the SVG files in your VS Code because VS Code doesn't support it by default. And then trailing spaces, I think it's also kind of nice extension. Um, like sometimes you see like you'll have a bunch of extra spaces, and it's not really bad. Like your code will not stop working, though it will. I think it will stop in Python, but it's just, it's harder to read your code, and and it's just a good habit to, you know kind of like have your code formatted. So um, you see, like right now it has no red colors, so it means we have no trailing spaces. So the trail space is like, like if you put it here, it's also like we don't need, those characters. It's just, just wasting. And it also also has the section like recommended, so you can, go here and, choose, maybe you want some for yourself. Um, Also, you, another thing I was kind of like wanted to show is that um, you can start um, the terminal from the VS Code. I think it's very useful. So just, and I'm using Linux, um, so I'm not sure which like what are the key combinations on the Windows or on the Mac. On the Mac, it's going to be command instead of control. On Windows, probably also control. So I click control tilde. Tilde is the key on top of tab, and left to one is that kind of like wave character, and I click it, and then we see the terminal here. Also very nice terminal, I think, because you can have multiple terminals. You can do different things in different terminals. Like here you can have one folder, like let's say you want to go to assets, and then here we can go to assets. I don't know, for some reason it doesn't work. Oh, what's going on? Yeah, I mean, um, yeah, we can go to like here. We can go to this folder, and then, another folder. Um, what else? What else? I think that's probably it for for VS Code. I just think that VS Code is like super nice code editor, and I feel bad because we don't use it that much, and I feel bad because I think REPL is kind of hard to use. It's very small, in the browser, and here you can just close this side panel. You can also close this terminal, and you have a lot of space, and you don't need that run feature to see it on like you know um, in a new tab or in the same tab. You can just switch between the windows, between the actual code editor and the browser, like using Alt tab, and I think it's just awesome. Um, so yeah, probably. Oh, also VS Code shows you which branch are you on right now. Also, I think very useful. And you can even sync all your settings. You can just go to your sign in through your GitHub, and all of those extensions and settings of your VS Code will be saved. Okay, so I think that's it. It's kind of late too, so I think I'm gonna go sleep. Yeah, all right. Let me know what you think. See you tomorrow.